A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, hello. Wow.
Welcome, friends of the show. We are back with another episode of the Serious Rock Talk podcast.
Ooh, all right.
A big thanks for your emails, suggestions, and your support on our social media platforms. Continue to email us at seriousrocktalk@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Okay, buckle up for some serious rock talk. We are back, ready to rock and roll with the man sitting next to me who needs no introduction, but we give him one anyways. He is the man that is responsible for convincing the Marshall Tucker Band to cross over from country to classic rock, and thank God they spoke to him because they turned out to be a great band. None other than Dr.
Ian Clark. It's true. They wanted a classical music, not classical rock. And I said, no.
I'm so glad they decided to go classic
And
rock.
that's the way I started my career and ended with Taylor Swift. So, yes, I'm a Swifter, whatever they call them.
Who doesn't like Taylor? She's good.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today is special because we've had emails from you loyal listeners building up for a few years, I'd say.
It's been a while, and we should have been more diligent, and we apologize. But today, we are going to make it right.
That's right. We were running a little bit short-staffed at the time. That's what Ian will tell you, and we'll stick to that.
That's true. We were.
So these are basically emails that you, fellow listeners, were so kind enough to write to us, and we are going to answer them today. Today is the day.
Today, so sit in your seat. Again, we appreciate you writing in, and I'm looking these over. These are kind of spooky. It's like Freud slipped here, but we'll see what we can do.
So who do you want to start off with?
Oh, I'll read one to you.
All right.
Okay, this is from Todd from Burlington, Ontario in Canada. Kennedy, you are a hypocrite. You bash and make fun of Rush, calling them overrated, and then you turn around and promote on social media the Rush albums that you got and added to your collection. Do you mind explaining yourself and where you stand on this?
Well, thanks for that wonderful words, Todd. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did call Rush, and I still do, overrated, 100%. They are great musicians. They do have some great music. But let's just face the reality. A lot of you Rush heads tend to forget that the band started. The Guess Who started. Neil Young started. Classic rock or Canadian rock did not start with Rush. If anything, it probably goes far back to Joni Mitchell, to Ian and Sylvia.
Sure.
It goes to the folk people. The one we just lost recently, Gordon Lightfoot, is a huge influence on Canadian music.
True.
And a lot of you guys will never admit that. So, yeah, that's where I stand on it. Do I dislike Rush? No, I do not. Do I have Rush albums? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And just for you, Todd, I'll even do a new video with the picture disc of Signals where the dog is actually urinating on the fire hydrant on the other side. And I love the album. So, you know what, Todd? Yeah, they are. And you can call me a hypocrite all you want. I appreciate the compliments, but at the end of the day, that's where I stand. Nothing wrong against them, but chillax on them, all right?
Well put.
All right. Well, Ian, this is one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Ian,
Yes.
saying the Beatles is a pop band and not a rock band is just dumb.
Oh, now I know where this is going.
You don't need to categorize everything to the extreme. How about the Fab Four
Shut up.
is both a rock band and a pop band? Makes sense.
good for you.
This is from James from New York.
James from New York.
New York, New York.
New York City. Okay, Jimmy. okay, I like your compromise. I like that. They're a pop band and a rock band. However, let me hit the ball back over the fence and say, for me, yes, I know everything's opinion. For me, they're primarily a pop band. The Rolling Stones are primarily a rock band. That's kind of macro, and that's where I stand in it. You know what I mean? I can hear Penny Lane, and then I can hear Sympathy for the Devil. They're very different. So, yeah, that's my answer. Thank you, James.
You think James will be content with that answer?
He better be. He doesn't know where I live, hopefully. So.
Thank God. What's the next on the list you got there?
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, I am sure you are aware that Aerosmith has been a rock band for more than 50 years. How can you sit there with a straight face and say the Run DMC helped revive their career? Have you no respect for musicians that have longevity like the boys from Beantown? They are still rocking last time I checked. That's from Stephanie from Salem, Massachusetts.
Well, Stephanie, obviously you're from Massachusetts, and even though Joe Perry's from, I believe, New York City, and Steve Tyler's actually born in Yonkers, they just ended up forming in Boston, but you claim them as your own, and you can, because they are the bad boys of Boston. They are doing now the Peaced Out tour, and I have no problem sitting here with a straight face saying that Run DMC did revive their career, because we've done this on numerous times where my good old counterpart here has defended me, saying that there was a time period that unfortunately Aerosmith was not all that good.
They really weren't. And I say this not because I read it. I was there, and it wasn't just my opinion. They had trouble selling tickets. There was one show they put on in Toronto about I'm throwing this out there, about 1980, 81. They were at the CNE. They were giving away Aerosmith tickets, and I didn't go. Because all that they really had done was walk this way and a few things. No one went. They were as burnouts.
Well, and to be honest, Stephanie, given my age difference with the Doctor, I only got into Aerosmith when Permanent Vacation came out. So I knew about Toys in the Attic later on in my years. And then when I heard all the other stuff, I agree with Ian. It's not all that good. And I'm sure if you talk to Steve Tyler and Joe Perry, they'll tell you the same thing. And then Run DMC came around and they said, hey, let's collaborate. And they did. They did revive their career. And then after that, they had at least about 3 solid albums, from Permanent Vacation, Pump, to Get a Grip.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that. Those are their best albums. Toys in the Attic is good.
It's good.
But was there another one that you thought was okay in that time era?
Cool, greatest hits.
So I'm right here, Stephanie.
That's cool.
You know, if we were filming this, you could look at me straight face and I'd tell you the exact same thing. But I appreciate the email, and please continue listening to the show.
Thank you, yeah.
All right, Ian,
Yes.
this is a good one for you.
Okay.
Dr. Clark.
Yes.
Loved your show on the Velvet Underground.
Good.
Why don't you do an entire show on Nico?
Oh, wow.
Because
Interesting.
without her, the
Yeah.
VUs would not have made it. And that's Elizabeth from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I've been there. Beautiful place, Elizabeth. Thank you for your email. Yeah. You know, actually, I think they're making a documentary on Nico. They have, or they're making it, which is a testament to, in a way, how great she was. And she picked up a lot of heat. For instance, Lou Reed couldn't really handle her in the band. He fought to keep her out of the band, but Andy Warhol wanted her in. It was Andy's money, so she got in. And I think she gave the Velvets their whole kind of unearthly, presence, especially with the first album. And you're right. I will. I'll take your advice, and I will do a show on Nico. She deserved it. She was an actress. She was in a Fellini movie. She was an interesting person. She was dated Jim Morrison for a while. She was around. So I take your advice. I will do one. It's my bad. Thank you.
Is she still alive, Nico?
No,
Okay.
died about, I'm going to say 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. So she's been gone a while.
Yeah.
All right. What's next on the list? We have Dr. Clark.
Oh, let's see. Dear Ferris, why are you so adamant about Bryan Adams being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's sickening to hear you whine about how he got snubbed. Yeah, do you feel he earned it? Or are you just being biased that he is your favorite artist and happens to be Canadian? Obviously, there's a reason. Inquiring minds would love to know. This is Aaron from Bangor, Maine, which I've been to.
Aaron, like Aaron there? or-
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay, gotcha. Yes, I am so adamant because to me, and you've heard the show numerous times, that Bryan Adams is, to me, the staple of arena rock. He has written so many songs for other artists that you would not even believe until you read it, and you'd be like, ugh, you'd be gasping and fainting. So yeah, I'm a slightly biased because he is from my country of birth. But at the end of the day, I'm also being realistic that he has earned his stripes. He's been around since '76 when he took over as a lead singer for a band called Sweeney Todd. He met Jim Valance at Long and McQuaid in Vancouver.
Cool, yeah.
And that's how he started his songwriting. So he's done a lot of collaborations, written a lot of songs, done a lot of scores for movies. And he had back-to-back solid albums with Cuts Like a Knife and Reckless. So, yeah, he does belong in the Rock Hall of Fame. I hope he does get inducted in 2024. I guess they already picked
They already picked him, yeah.
their victims for 2023. But yeah, I'll still keep on preaching the good word, my friend, because that's what music lovers do. And if you're passionate about something, you don't stop the fight. So, Aaron, I appreciate your email. Continue listening to the show and email me back if you like my answer, which I'm sure you do. All right, what we got next?
Destination Bangor, Maine.
Bangor, Maine. All right. Oh, I like this one.
Yep.
Hi, Dr. Clark.
Hi.
What's your problem with classic rock bands touring? You seem to
Okay.
think that just because a rocker is old, they can't perform. This
Yeah.
is classic ageism.
Okay.
This is Charmaine
Sean,
from Montreal, Quebec.
Quebec. Well, okay. Is it ageism? Well, not. Hopefully not. Well, this is the thing. Rock and roll is essentially dance music. Rock and roll is it's youthful music, right? And I know that's changed over the years, but when the Rolling Stones, for instance, play their songs, they're playing stuff they wrote when they were like 25. So it's hard to jump around and the sincerity can't be there, but you're now like 80 something. I just think, like Grace Slick said, you got to quit while you're ahead. And I see no reason for these oldies acts. And I know I'm going to get a lot of blowback. We got blowback before when I mentioned I think Paul McCartney should just hang up the Hofner bass. But that's me. That's my opinion. I mean, his vocal range has shrunk to half an octave. Leave him alone. But he brings pleasure to thousands. Yeah, I know. But I remember him and I saw him in his prime in the 70s. Listen, it's okay to grow old and just to kind of rest in your laurels and just take it easy. So, you know, whereas compared to classical music, because it's not a young person's medium, you can go quite, you know, Leonard Bernstein lasted forever. So my suggestion for these aging rockers is just to back off gracefully. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's my answer. I know it's not popular with everyone, but that's the way it goes.
I'm sure Charmaine will be okay with it.
Yeah, all right, Charmaine. Beautiful name, by the way. I've always liked Charmaine. Okay, what do we got here? Hey, Kennedy, what drugs are you on? Yeah, they just asked. No, I caught one of your previous episodes on the top 50 artists, and you think Led Zeppelin is the #1 rock band of all time. Did you forget about the Beatles, huh? Or the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd? They're pretty solid in their day. I would really like to be humored by your reasoning behind this. This is Spencer from beautiful Lethbridge, Alberta.
Okay, Spencer. Here we go. Now it's time to educate you. To me, Led Zeppelin is my band. And yeah, I know who the Beatles are, I know who the Rolling Stones are, and of course I know who Pink Floyd is. I got their albums. I cut them on vinyl. I listen to them. I don't know if you even have a turntable at home. I highly doubt you do. But at the end of the day, to me, Led Zeppelin is #1 in my view because they started that heavy metal, hard rock sound that I truly like. And obviously, if you listen to the show, you know that some of my bands are AC/DC, Van Halen. Well, who do you think they were influenced by? They're influenced by Led Zeppelin. I got nothing against the Beatles or the Stones, but like the good doctor said in previous email answerings before, blues-driven band, pop band, more or less.
Yeah, I think so.
So to me, I have nothing against those bands, but to me, Jimmy Page is God, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, and I'm going to leave it at that. John Bonham was a beast on the Skins. We'll leave it at that. Oh yeah, and Robert Plant had some good vocals too. Just thought I'd say that. But yeah, now what kind of drugs I'm on? Nothing really, my friend. I have cigars every now and then, a bit of whiskey. Come on down to where I am. We'll enjoy. We'll have a good chat.
All right, good one.
All right, what do we got here for Ian? Oh yeah, Ian.
Yes.
I was listening to your Masters of Rock Talk podcast about Ringo Starr.
Okay,
You're
good.
one of the rare critics who can see and hear Ringo's true value.
Yeah, I
What was
guess.
your first clue that Ringo deserved all the praise he was getting? And this is from Carl from London, England.
Carl, thank you. I'm glad you are listening to us across the pond. Appreciate that. We appreciate that very much. My first indication of Ringo. Well, this is the way I look at Ringo Starr. The Beatles are freakish. They shouldn't be as popular for so long. You have to remember, they broke up in 1970. It's 2023. Like, they broke up. They didn't start. They broke up. And they sell millions of albums every year. And I think, other words, every molecule of that formula is important. All four members have to be important. You take one out and you break the formula. You ruin the formula. So in that way, Ringo Starr is a seminal guy. He's just, he is critical to rock and roll. My personal feelings, if they had kept Pete Best, they wouldn't have been as famous. Because it's so freakish and so weird that this band happened like they did. He has to be part of that. And I know he's not the most amazing drummer, whatever. That's not he's not a show-off anyway. I think a lot of rock drummers tend to, there's too much flash. They ruin songs. But Ringo Starr, he was part of the formula. He's 1/4 of the formula. And I just rest my case on that. Thank you for writing in, though, from across the pond.
That's the next one you got.
Okay, what else we got? Kennedy, sometimes you amaze me. And other times I wonder what's going on in your mind. He also probably wonders what kind of drugs you're on. Congratulations on learning the art of drumming. But come on, bro, how can you say that Neil Peart from Rush, known as the Professor, is a show-off? The drummers you idolize like Tommy Lee are overrated and a show-off. You must explain yourself. From Franco in Toronto.
Franco. Paisan, che mi dici? Ci parliamo insieme. I can say it in Italian if you want, but you're probably Franco from Woodbridge or Vaughan, Concord. Hey, why yo? Te conosco io. I'll tell you what it is. Yes, I will explain myself. Yes, Neil Peart, to me, is a show-off. Or was, God rest his soul. Was he a great drummer? Absolutely. But yes, I am learning the art of drumming, and in conversations with my drum teacher, who actually idolizes Steve Gads and Tommy Langs, he goes a little bit out on a different type of specter of drummers. He also likes Roger Taylor and Charlie Watts, so there's some history for you there. To me, Neil Peart is a little bit of a show-off because I don't think you need 100 pieces on your drum kit. Standard drum kit is 5 for rockers, 4 for jazz. If you knew that, you'd understand. Tommy Lee, show-off? Not really. I just grew up idolizing him because it's the era I grew up in. I've seen Tommy Lee perform live, and I've seen Neil Peart perform live. Nothing really too spectacular about Neil Peart performing live. Like I said, not taking it away from him. But Tommy Lee, he's got the little roller coaster thing. That's pretty cool. I like Jack Daniels, so he could pretty down a 26 or pretty good while drumming. Try that one for fun. Smoke a few cigarettes while you're doing it too. Try that for fun. So, am I going to explain myself? I don't really have to. I think my drummers that I like are the ones that I listen to in music. Again, at the end of the day, music is all relative, and at the end of the day, my opinion is a good one. Yours, you're a Rush head, I get it. You like Neil Peart, you miss him. I miss John Bonham, but I wasn't there for it. But at the end of the day, I miss Taylor Hawkins too, who was actually a better drummer than Neil Peart. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, you're in trouble. There's another letter that's coming to us.
Well, Franco's probably going to see me at a concert down in Toronto.
You're probably related to him anyway.
I'm probably related to you, Franco. So thanks for the email. And when
That's
I'm in
really
Woodbridge,
nice.
I'll come and have a panini with you. Next, we have what do we got here? Ian. Oh wow, Ian, this is good.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're gonna love this one. Dr. Clark.
Yes.
Too often it sounds like you're either bored or condescending or both. Is that where the satire and all the rest come from?
Okay.
Erica from If You're Going to San Francisco. So she must be a deadhead because the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, you're right. You could play.
Maybe. If she's from the, what is it, Asbury Heights? No.
Hit Ashbury.
Ashbury, thank you. Well, Ian, answer Erica.
Okay. Let me think here. What was the question?
Wait, what you're doing right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you either bored
Yeah.
or
I'm
condescending or both?
I'm trying to think.
Eric, I think he's both.
I think I'm gonna say I think you're getting a little too close to the marrow on that one. Probably both, as they say, all at once. And I've been that way all my life, and I carry it to our podcast. It's hopefully not condescension. It's just the way I am, and I hope you keep listening, and it doesn't offend you too much, Erica. And it's not an affectation of mine. It's just the way I am.
I think Erica likes your voice, and she has a secret crush on you.
There you go.
We nailed it right there.
There you
Erica,
go. Thank you very much.
we appreciate that.
From beautiful San Francisco. Okay. Kennedy, how can you defend Nickelback? Do you think they are one of the greatest Canadian rock bands? Their songs sound the same and have basically played the same beat repeatedly. You're totally wrong on that aspect, and I wanted to point that out. They are not great, and I don't see the appeal. In other words, they suck. And so do you for listening to them and promoting them. Liam is a good Irish name from beautiful Peterborough, Ontario.
From your hometown.
Never heard of it, actually.
Never heard of Peterborough?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, Liam, yes, I could defend Nickelback, and it's quite easy. A lot of people call them 2-chord Nickelback. I like to say 3-chord Nickelback because they have that extra chord. All right? But at the end of the day, they're literally the top-selling Canadian band. You can't deny the facts. The statistics are there. They sell out. And you know what, Liam? I'm sure whenever Nickelback comes to Peterborough, you're the first guy that's going to say, hey guys, let's get some tickets for Nickelback. Why? Because they put on a great show. Their pyromaniacs are fantastic. Their sound is eclectic. And you know what? You may not like Chad Kroeger, but I actually do. And I think his voice, monotone as it is, works for me. I like their music. I like their songs. I like their look. I'm glad that they got into the Canadian Rock Hall of Fame. You know, and I believe they will get the rock and roll nod for sure. 100% they're going to.
Plus, Liam, there's nothing else going on in Peterborough, so
yeah, Sebastian Bach is gone.
You may as well go to Nickelback.
Go to Nickelback, Liam, because like Ian said, there's nothing in Peterborough.
There isn't.
So that's my defense, Liam. But check out the stats. Check out the stats. They're there.
Good. What else you got? Anything else?
We got for Ian here? Wow, Ian, oof, man.
All right, hit me with your best shot.
Oh, this is actually a pretty good one. Hi, Ian.
Hi.
You are Canadian.
It's true.
Why don't you do more shows about Canadian rockers?
Oh, no. Here
Corey
we go.
from Toronto.
I knew a Corey in Toronto.
I thought it was going to be Corey Hart from Montreal. I was waiting for that.
No, I knew a Corey. Do more shows about Canada. Yeah. We have done shows about Canadian rock. In fact, we did
A 4-parter.
a 4-parter, and even put us to sleep. So I would just... you can't do it. I don't know what it is. We'll try. We're going to do one very soon, actually. But...
we did 5, I believe.
Yeah, we
And the next one would be 6.
So
yeah,
just
so we're 6.
listen. Go to our website and go to the podcast section and look them up because they're there, and listen to them. See what you think. Mostly historical. So we do Canadian stuff. I just don't feel the impetus to do more than we do. I don't know where that would come from. We have Facebook, where we have what's the name of our Facebook page?
What's the Serious Rock Talk? There's the Serious Canada Rock Talk.
Yeah, Canadian Rock Talk. Yeah, so just check that out and contribute to it if you'd like. But Corey, I appreciate the email. Thank you. So what else we have here for you? Kennedy, big fan of the show. Love the energy you bring. I want to ask you, who are your top 5 rock bands that you like. This is Sandy from beautiful Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh, Sandy, thank you for the email. Very simple. My top 5, hands down, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses. 5th one sometimes, AC/DC's in there for sure. Those are my top 5.
That's solid for you.
It is solid for me, and obviously Ian knows me best as anybody else. He knows I still love the Stones and the Beatles, but they just...
No, she asked your top 5, and that's cool.
Yeah. Next, we have...
Sure. Hit me with your best.
Dear Ian,
yes.
you are obviously a big Doors fan.
True.
I always thought they were so overrated. They're just so 60s. It's embarrassing.
That's true.
They have one great album, the first one,
That's true.
and all the rest are sketchy. Hoping you will do an episode that reevaluates this overhyped band. This is from Jason from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Jason, way down in Dallas.
He's probably feeling sad because the Stars got eliminated yesterday.
Yeah, good point. Good point. They good fight though.
Yeah.
It's true. Their first album was their best. One of those weird bands that the other great albums their last. You know, strange bookends. And you're right. They in between. I don't know. Like Waiting for the Sun and all these albums. They're not strong for me, but they're still a great band with some great songs on them.
What's the last one called? Riders? No,
that was on it. L.A. Woman.
Yeah, that's it.
Good album.
That's a very good album.
Great album. It's their last one. And so I know where you're coming from. Would I reevaluate them? Nah, I guess so. I mean, I'll put it this way. Everyone's going on now. I'm on all these Doors Facebook pages about Jim Morrison being a great poet. I never thought that. I thought he might have become a great poet had he lived. But, you know, he died young and he was often really tanked up and he didn't have the discipline at that point, but he could have. That's what's heartbreaking about him. But he was a great lyricist. But he did some great stuff with the Doors. So I tell you the truth, no. Jason and down in Texas, Dallas, Texas. I don't think, but I appreciate that input, and I might consider a different aspect. I appreciate that. Thank you.
The first one he's right though. The first one is...
It is the best.
It's the best.
In fact, it's often known as one of the best debut albums in all classic rock.
But Jason, let us know what you think about Strange Days, because I always thought it was a Stones album because of the artwork.
Strange days have found us.
All right, hit me. What else I got?
Hit me with the best. Hey, Kennedy, you talk about old school hip and rap as if it's the cat's meow. Why are you so critical about the hip-hop music today? Why are you not giving it a fair shake? I feel you are too tough and stuck in the 80s. This is Ken from Sacramento, California.
Well, Ken, it's a very good email. And yes, I am stuck in the 80s. Why? Because that's when music was really good when it came to old school rap and hip-hop. I think I'll like to quote Vanilla Ice when he says, after 2004, it's a lost generation. And it's true. Music, especially when it was rap and hip-hop in the 80s and 90s, it actually meant something. People were actually reporting things that came out of their district that the news was neglecting to inform other people. That was one of their way to get the message across. That was one of their way to express their feelings, their emotions, any kind of heartache, any kind of political statement they wanted to make. They did it through song, not violence. There's a big difference. Now, today, this mumble rap, I have no idea what the hell you guys are listening to. I really don't. You know, you got, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Spot 'em, Got 'em, Lil Yachty. Like my good buddy Charbel would say, that's trash rap. It's garbage. It's no good. Those guys don't know what they're talking about. They're just living on a big hype because they used to be social media influencers and someone liked their Instagram post and boom, all of a sudden, well, there you go. They're in. So yeah, am I still stuck in the 80s? Absolutely. Run DMC opened up a lot of barriers for the rappers today and they don't even appreciate it. You know, people always forget about Grandmaster Flash when he started off in rapping. You know, in Canada, Maestro Fresh West opened up the door. You know, it's totally different. Unfortunately, the generation today, when it comes to rap and hip-hop, it's not the same. You just don't get it. I grew up in that era where I was able to appreciate it and learn from it. So, you know what? Why don't you go back to the 80s and 90s stuff on Spotify, listen to it, and I guarantee you'll open up your mind a little bit differently and you'll appreciate it because those guys are the real pioneers. Today, that's just smoke and mirrors, my friend. So, yeah, I am critical, and I always will be because I'm a Gen X guy, man. I'm the last standing generation that tolerated pain and suffering. And here we are, still today, tolerating this horrible music. In the words of my good buddy here, it's just unlistenable.
Thank you. Period.
Period. All right. So what else we got here for you? This is actually kind of nice. Ferris Kennedy is a big fan of Bryan Adams. You always moan and groan
True.
whenever his name is mentioned.
I do.
You don't think he's a great songwriter. Check out his credits. Get with the program. Craig from Calgary, Alberta. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, Ian. Check out his credits.
Yeah, he's true. His credits do cut like a knife, but it feels so right. Yeah, I know. He's very successful. He's got zillion sellers. He sells out. Actually, he's actually a good photographer too. I was looking at some.
Yeah, he's got I have his Canada book. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty good. So he's a gifted guy, but I have found absolutely no appeal. So again, is it Craig? Yeah, I just feel that all this is kind of, I said before, everything's opinion in the world, and I don't know why Bryan Adams. He's my contemporary. I don't know why there's just nothing there for me. I remember when he broke with Cuts Like a Knife. It was actually called Cuts Like a Butter Knife, and then they had to make it. No. They said, this isn't working. It feels so right. And I can't explain it. I think it's just kind of a personal taste thing, and just leave it at that.
But he did teeter off a little bit when his later stuff,
Yeah.
And then his last album, So Happy It Hurts, turned out to be decent.
Oh, good.
So it brought back a little bit, but I agree with Craig. Why you dissing, man? Thanks,
you.
Craig. That was a nice email.
Yeah, son of a. Okay, last time I'm Mr. Nice Guy. Okay, Kennedy. Oh boy, some of these are hostile. All right.
This one here.
Okay, I'll do. Hey, Ferris. I'm curious as to where you thought that David Lee Roth is a better frontman than Freddie Mercury. On your Van Halen show, you praised David Lee Roth as if he was the next coming of Christ. I want to call you out on this, as I think you have lost your mind, and revisit that statement you blurted out. I wonder if you think before you speak. Michael from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, Michael. No, I don't think before I speak.
He's got him in a lot of trouble, actually.
Why would I? It's because this gets me the emails that I want. But no, I'll definitely revisit the statement. Yes, David Lee Roth is and will be the better frontman than Freddie Mercury. And it's just my opinion, but at the end of the day, Freddie had the... But David Lee Roth could do the backflips, the splits, the martial arts. He could still hit the high notes for jump.
Might as well jump.
Panama. No, I definitely revisit it and tell you, yeah, I'm going to stick with that statement. David Lee Roth is the cat's meow. He is the man. He is the front man. If you're going to start a band tomorrow, I don't know if I'd call him because he probably lost an octave or two, but at the end of the day, if you're going back in the 80s, he was the guy.
Diamond Dave.
And you know what? Even Vince Neil was pretty damn good in his day, too. So,
good answer.
That's my answer. Ian,
yes.
What do we got here?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, Ian. Hi, Ian. You complain about lists. You
True.
don't like lists that rate artists and songs and albums. Yet, how many of your shows are based on lists? I smell a hypocrite. This is Donna from Los Angeles.
Oh,
Donna. Oh, Donna. I had a girl.
And Donna, what's her name? Donna Prima. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. It's kind of a problem. It's you called me out in that, and unfortunately, you're right. I don't tend to like lists because the 20 greatest vocalists of all time, I think it's lazy. I don't. With the greatest drummers of the 1980s, it's just some goofballs' opinions. Some editors, hunkered up over a keyboard. It means nothing, and the list change every day, right? So that's why. And you're right. You called it. You nailed me. We have used them. We don't use them as much, but we, a few years ago, we kind of fell back on them, probably too much. But we don't do that as much. Half the time, Donna, when we do, well, maybe a third of the time, we do kind of ridicule them. I do anyway. Like
A third of the time? How about 75% of the time?
maybe 70%. I do ridicule them, so they don't go untouched by me. So like classicrock.com, a lot of them, I think every day they have new lists, some really horrible ones. So no, I agree with you, and I would like to keep a promise that we will not use them as much, and if we do, I will ridicule them. Thank you, Donna. Prima Donna. Oh, now for you, let's see here.
Oh, go with the heart. Go with all the heart. I don't care.
Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah. Hello, Mr. Kennedy. I'm a frequent listener of the show, and I found it interesting. A while back, you had mentioned that when John Lennon left the Beatles, that they could have carried on. And I wanted to know your points on this, you stupid idiot. No, on this. Catherine from Orlando, Florida.
Catherine, thank you so much for the email. Yes, 100% I do agree that whenever John decided to leave with Yoko Ono and carry on and do his own thing, Paul should have still stuck with George and Ringo. And they already had Billy Preston doing some work on them on their last album. So I would have brought in Billy Preston as their full-time piano player. And considering what Eric Clapton was around, Jeff Lynne was around, they could have definitely had one of those guys fill in as another guitarist, and Paul would have done the vocals, and that would have been fine. And if they really wanted to, they could have had Johnny Hutch be the drummer, because I'm still stuck on Johnny Hutchison drumming for the Beatles.
It's true, he did.
But those are my points. I definitely would have. They could have easily asked Jeff Lynne. Jeff Lynne would have done it, Ian. Right? He had nothing.
Well, he's about 17 years old, but no, yeah, he could have.
No, he was old enough back then.
He was old enough back in '69. Yeah,
he was there. Yeah, he was born 1940, so he was like, right, he was 1920. He was already out, and Clapton was there.
Yeah, I don't agree with this fine gentleman, but I think he's probably has suffering some kind of minor stroke. But anyway, it's his opinion. I don't think so, but okay.
All right. What
do you got for me there?
Okay, here we go. Oh boy, Ian.
Yes.
Why can't you and Ferris Kennedy agree on a definition of classic rock?
Oh wow.
This is from No Name Given.
Oh wow. Well, No Name Given. That sounds vaguely mid-European. No Name Given.
No,
Yeah.
just no name given.
Oh, I see. We've been doing this for more years than I would like to count, and no one has ever. I've read enough books and tomes of wisdom. No one's come up with a good definition of classic rock. This is the thing. It's a moving target. So, for instance, now, when we've spoken about this and debated it, would you include the Foo Fighters, for instance, in classic rock? It's a moving needle. It used to be, 20, 25, whatever it is, 25 years?
25 years was the cutoff.
But you see, more bands are joining that group, not just the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and CCR. More groups, are getting in that. So it could, the new ones would include Foo Fighters, etc. So this is the problem. It's a moving target. I will say, it's Taylor Swift, which one day she'll be in there, like Janis Joplin is. It keeps going. No one owns the term. It's totally organic. I appreciate the question, and I think that's why there's no in-stone answer. It just is a moving target.
All right. Another harsh one for me, Ian?
I don't know. Well, I'm going to see what we got. Oh, this is actually very kind.
Okay.
This is like velvet gloves. Dear Kennedy, you are a disgrace to this country. You call yourself Canadian, but in reality, you are more American than anything else. A true Canadian would not put down his nation's music, but help promote it. You put down and insult bands like The Hip and Rush, calling them overrated, and then in another breath, you posted a TikTok video with your vinyl gems and display Rush and Hip albums. It seems to me you're more fond of bands from other countries versus your own. This is from Luke, good biblical name there, from Kingston. It could be either Ontario or Jamaica. We don't know.
Well, if he's mentioned the Hip.
Oh!
Yes, I am more fond of bands outside of Canada. There's no doubt about it. I've gone on record saying that Led Zeppelin and Van Halen are my top bands for sure. 100%. Do I say that Rush and the Hip are overrated? Yeah, I did. And I always continued saying that because it seems to me there's this small generation that just seems to be stuck with those two bands. And again, rehash back to what I said, you kind of forget about the other Canadian bands that made staples in this country. The Hip were great, and I respect the Hip for actually being able to promote themselves throughout Canada and through a couple of northern states. Rush is Rush. They're prog, and they've made themselves a staple in Canada. God bless them. They're the greatest musician. They're great musicians. You never take that away from them. But yeah, to answer your question, Luke, yeah, I am more fond of bands outside of Canada. Doesn't mean I'm a disgrace of this country. And by the way, I do promote a lot of Canadian music. I do promote a lot of Canadian stuff. If you follow more of our social media, and you could see how gung-ho I am on certain Canadian bands, I think you'd want to reword that, my friend.
Check out our Wayward Saints interview. There you go.
Yeah, check out Wayward Saints. I always forget
I
to
did.
yeah.
I got that right.
So check out Wayward Saints interview because they're from Mississauga. I think that's in Canada last time I checked.
Mr. and Mississauga.
That's right. So thanks, Luke. Ian.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Clark.
Hi.
It's rare that I write to a podcaster, but I find your insights so profound, your humor so witty, and your sense of fun so contagious.
I like this person already.
That I cannot explain why you're hanging around a brain-dead loser like Ferris Kennedy. Why? Cheryl from Toronto.
Oh, wow.
So she must be upset that the Panthers took care of your Leafs, but okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting nailed hard on this
listen,
one.
I can't figure that out either. It's a weakness of mine. I think I must be a masochist because I can't figure out why I hang around him either, because there is a kind of a brain dead aspect to him. And, and I know. I've seen it whenever we work together. It could be sympathy. I don't know what it is, but for some reason there is a bizarre chemistry. It seems to work. We enjoy each other's company, and I actually am a registered caregiver for him. If anything ever, so he can't drive himself, and he drools in a mug. But beside from that, I do help him out. So thank you, Cheryl. I mean, again, that passes through my head every second that I'm in the studio. I appreciate it.
What else you got for me there? I hope there's some other kinder stuff coming my way.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, this is so down your alley. It's pathetic. Kennedy, I know for a fact you seem to be a big grunge guy when it comes to the genres of music. I would like to know who your forefathers of the music are, and will you and your team do a grunge show in the future? This is from Simon from Aspen, Colorado.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for the email. Yes, I am a big grunge guy, and if I had to choose my forefathers of grunge, it's going to upset Ian, but Neil Young started it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, but definitely Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden is in there, and you're probably going to have to go with Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden.
Three biggies.
And the three biggies, 100%. And fourth one, people don't really talk about them, but they don't get enough love. Dinosaur Jr. Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Dinosaur Jr., they're up there with grunge. They started out in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
They were there for a while.
What about Green Day? You think they're grungy?
They're punky.
More punky?
But they're good, though.
All right.
So thank you, Simon.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, and what do we got here for Ian?
There's another one. You're kidding.
Yeah, that's a one for
I told you
and
at the top of the show, we said, there's a lot we haven't answered. We promised to be more prompt with this stuff. Oh, we're sorry about it. And we're going to, every third or fourth show, we'll just kind of gang them together and read some.
Ian, this is actually a pretty good one.
Okay.
Ian,
Yes.
So what is it? Do you like Aerosmith or not? About every second show, you have a different opinion on the band. This is Lori from Boston, Massachusetts. Wow, we must have really ate a bean with Boston, man.
Yeah, well, that's just, it's something with Boston. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's on the oscilloscope thing. I'm bouncing all over with Aerosmith. I guess Steven Tyler has a great rock voice. Joe Perry is a great guitar player. They're a great band, period. Just leave it. Okay, let's put that in the corner and think about it. Number two is for composers. They've written some great rock songs. I can 10 to 15 great rock songs. And that's really hard to do. Most bands that are successful maybe have 2 or 3. That's why the Beatles are freaks. They have 80. But we mentioned this earlier in this particular podcast. Their albums haven't been consistent, often because of drug abuse, to be brutally frank. That's my opinion. They're also a good video band. They made some great videos. And MTV, in a way, saved their career. We mentioned the Run DMC video that saved their career. So that's why they just they're not stable. It's not a stable band like this, like the Rolling Stones. I gave up on the Rolling Stones probably sometime around Black and Blue, maybe Some Girls, and so I just kind of write them off, and I think of them stable that way. But Aerosmith is so unstable with the quality, and they just are, and all the infighting, not anymore so much, because like Joe Perry's been in his deathbed a few times, so is Steve Tyler. So they probably have mercy on each other. But that's why that's my answer, is instability.
No.
Yeah.
What do you got next there, Ian?
Let's see what I got for you here. Kennedy, I love how you back up Neil Young all the time. The Good Doctor versus The Good Doctor, sorry. It's a common theme between the two of you. Oh, Caroline, great name, from Winnipeg in beautiful Manitoba.
I do back up Neil Young. And it is a constant thing between Ian and I.
Yeah, it is.
Because he knows a little bit more. I want to be a singer, Dad. I just think Neil Young should continue living forever. Just
don't
because
say
to me,
that.
what he's done, to me, he's got carte blanche. He can do whatever he wants right now. Ian, on the other hand, is a little bit more stricter on that one. And I think that's probably why we banter. And even our phone calls, we talk to each other preparing for the show. It comes up. And yeah.
It just does. We can't, for some reason, Neil Young is this kind of ghost or creature that hangs over us, and we just can't sort him out. And I know a fair amount about him. I know about I used to read his father's sports column. Like, I go back a little bit with Neil Young. But, hey, 2 albums and that was it. So, that was a really interesting show, and I'm glad we got those out of the mailbox. And again, we apologize for being late about it, but these things happen, and we promise it won't happen again.
We'll get what, every second month?
Yeah, we'll gang them up.
We'll gang them up every second month, and we'll get back on the mic and answer your emails. So I'm Kennedy signing off.
Dr. Ian Clark saying thank you so much again, and please go to the website, all the email addresses there, and keep sending us stuff. We love to hear from you.
We love to hear you. Keep it coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye.